So, did you know the whole story of your character?
No, I didn't know it until the scripts were coming out. I mean, I would only read the next script maybe a day before we started shooting, so one became a surprise to me.
And what happens when you see something that you think you were aware of and you weren't, or the other way around?
Well, it just shows how clever the Marvel writers are, and I think the audiences are going to be very excited to see the direction it takes. When you think it's going in one way, you suddenly realise that there's a twist and it turns itself on its head. I don't think the fans will be disappointed in what they see.
What do you think that Peggy was such an audience draw from the beginning?
I think that her strength. I mean, it's always. I think it's always very aspirational for girls to see strong women who don't always just use their sexuality, that use their intelligence and their physical skills and their wit and their humour to get by. And she has a fight quality about her. I think something that it's determination that keeps her going, and I think that becomes very attractive.
In the Winter Soldiers, we learned that she got married. Are we gonna see her husband in this series?
Not in this season. I hope that we explore that in the future. The reason why we're not in this season is because it's too close since she lost Steve Rogers, and I think it would be disrespectful of their relationship and undermine what they had if she suddenly moved on to someone else very quickly. So I think they're being very respectful in that way.
The show introduced Leviathan, which is basically the Russian Hydra.
Yes, yes.
So it is gonna be more like a Cold War spy thriller.
I mean, your questions are very interested, but they're ones that I can't answer because why would you want to know what happens before you see it? You have to kind of be patient and let us gently tell you what's happening, because it's a very exciting the way that it unfolds, and it's just things that we can't possibly tell you without spoiling it for you.
No, but I was talking in terms of maybe the genre, or maybe the characteristics of the show, which genre will gear towards.
Well, the season...
Not the particulars of the story.
Oh, okay. Well, the season is only set in the few months of 1946, so it's specific to that time. I think there is an opportunity if we went into season 2 that we could explore different time periods, which would be very exciting, and I think something that Marvel would probably consider to do. But it just depends on if we get picked up for another season.
Do you know how does this particular show fits into the MCU?
In what? How do you mean?
How the references, or maybe some characters will appear in the movies on S.H.I.E.L.D. or.
Well, the way that it fits in is that it's right at the beginning. It's at the beginning. S.H.I.E.L.D. hasn't been created yet, so we're taking it back. So you don't have to know anything about the Marvel universe in order to understand Agent Carter or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. They're both very independent worlds that are interconnected, I suppose. But if there was an opportunity for me to cross over, then I would accept it, because it's a great character.
And it's interesting because she got cited as a secretary, and she's doing all the job, undercover in an undercover organization. So, do you think that that's some that was really accurate in terms of period?
Yeah, I think so. I think women at the time, a lot of them were active in the Second World War, but when the men came back home, they found themselves demoted again, and that's where the position that Peggy's in, and she's answering the phone, taking lunch orders and making coffee for the men. And so she's got the men that she has to fight against in the workspace, but then she's also got the baddies. So she's living a double life, but she's living a very frustrated life because there are very few people who see her worth. But the great thing is that she knows her worth, and there's nothing she has to do to prove herself to anyone in terms of how she feels about herself, and that's something that I admire greatly.
We know that Peggy survived, and she was in the 90s in the Winter Soldier. So how do you keep the audience involved, knowing that she's alive? She will be alive.
Yes.
She will survive.
Yeah, absolutely. You keep her alive by making the stories incredibly engaging, and that you explore different. We know that she lives for a long time. What we don't know is anything really about her. We don't know her flaws, her idiosyncrasies, her characteristics, her vulnerabilities, her humor, her love interest, her family, where the job takes her. There are so many avenues that we can explore. So it's a very rich character that we can for decades hopefully be able to see where she goes.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Lovely to
Good
speak
luck.
to you. Thank you.
Yeah, me too.